Hey everybody, and welcome to Spurs Kings TV. As we're going to look ahead to the Man City game this weekend in our match preview. So, Spurs return to action after the international break with a game at Manchester City at the Etihad on Saturday evening. Now, I'm not sure about you. If you asked me to pick a game that I'd like Spurs to return from the international break, I'm not sure Man City away would have been the one that I'd choose, especially given the couple of performances and results before the international break. If you're a Man City fan, you're probably rubbing your hands together with this fixture because, as we know and as we've seen this season, if you're on a bad run or your form hasn't been great, there's not many better teams you want to come up against than Spurs at the moment. If you haven't won a game, welcome Tottenham, and we'll help you out. If you've got players who haven't scored goals, again, Tottenham are coming. You'll definitely score your first goal of the season. So, given Man City's run of form at the moment, they must be licking their lips. And as we'll get into in a little while, given some injury news we've had today ahead of the game, Erling Haaland must be sitting there thinking, is in dreamland. So let's get into the game quickly and let's have a look at some of the form recently for both teams. So, obviously, Man City at the moment currently sitting in second place in the league, just behind Liverpool. But as that form over the last 5 games shows, they've won one, but unbelievably for Man City, and something that most of their fans and players are just not used to, they've lost four on the bounce. Now, I'm pretty sure, like you, most people might be sitting there thinking, we know that isn't going to continue. And Man City, I can't see them losing five in a row. It's unheard of. So that doesn't bode well because I think Man City at some point are going to be looking to put that form right and get themselves back on track, making sure they don't fall any further behind Liverpool in the title race. If we look at our head to head, something that recently a lot of Spurs fans have trying to be cling on to is the fact that we're one of Man City's bogey teams. But again, if you look at that head to head recently over the last 5 games, we've won two, but Man City have won three of them. So I kind of think that Man City bogey team tag is slightly going out the window now, and things are kind of rectifying themselves as normal to what Man City do to most teams. Obviously, the last time we played was in the League Cup, and as we know, it wasn't a depleted and academy side that Man City put out. It was a team with plenty of talent in it still, but we managed to get the win, and I'm sure Pep might be looking to put that right on Saturday. Now, if we look at where can Man City hurt us, I think we've seen over the recent weeks Tottenham's problem is defending and the fact that we don't seem to be able to do it very well. We have players, in my opinion, that switch off far too easily and allow people to get the run on them, not really aware of where players are. And when you're coming up against a team like Man City with the forward line that they've got, that just isn't something you can do. And as I said earlier, we've had some breaking team news today where it looks like Romero will not be fit for this Man City game. Now, when you couple that with the fact that we know Van de Ven isn't going to be available either, that likely means that we're going to be going into this game with a centre back pairing of Dragusin and Ben Davies. And again, like I said before, when you look at the way Dragusin's been playing over recent weeks and the limitations that Ben Davies has, I think if you're Erling Haaland, you are sitting there thinking, I can feel my boots here today. And who would bet against him doing that, coming up against those pair? And especially given as well that Spurs' fullbacks are not exactly the most defensive minded fullbacks. So there's going to be a lot of room to work in, and that fills me with dread. If we look at this game from a Spurs perspective, the only thing that gives me, I wouldn't even say hope because I don't think we're going to get anything out of this game, unfortunately. But the only thing I think that we could kind of look at as some possible positives is the fact that we've seen this season, we really struggle when we come up against teams that come with a game plan, possibly look to sit deep, little bit of a low block, and then wait for their moment to try and pick us off on the counter. But Man City won't do that. Man City won't change, and I think it's where we've always had our success against them when we have over the recent years, in the fact that they will still play their high pressing, high intensity game. They're not going to drop deep because they're not scared of anyone. And that has seen we've always been able to get some joy over the top. We've got someone like Son who might be able to get the run. Brennan Johnson might have to use his pace in this game and hope that he can hurt them. Someone like Kulusevski or Maddison, if they play, might find they get a little bit of extra space in that midfield because it won't be so congested, and they won't find that they're being man-marked possibly as much as they would against a team, say, like an Ipswich, as we saw before the break. So that is the one area where I feel if you're Spurs, we might get some joy. This game, I think, will see plenty of goals. If you're a neutral, then you're massively looking forward to this game because you know Spurs will give up chances. Man City can score goals, but you also know Spurs can score goals. And Man City, as we have seen, can be frail at the back this season. So for a neutral gate game, unfortunately, as a Spurs fan, I'm not so excited because I really do think, and I've said in a video of mine on my channel, I think this is going to be the first game out of 5 where I'm not so sure if Ange will be manager after the 5th game of this run, because I really do think that Man City might come and do a number on us this weekend. And I'm actually fearing a really heavy defeat. You know, we could be looking at City scoring 4 or 5. I'm sure we'll score. I reckon we could easily get 1 or 2. I just think defensively we'll ship far too many. And God knows what would happen if we suddenly conceded 6, 5 or 6. I think that'll really put the cat amongst the pigeons. And obviously, as I've said before as well, I think if Ange was to be on the end of a really bad result this weekend, I think the press are looking to sharpen their knives and turn their attention to a new target now that Ten Hag's gone. And with rumours of player unrest, things just don't look right at Spurs at the moment. And as I say, a real heavy defeat could kind of find Ange in the spotlight once again for all the wrong reasons. Anyway, let us know in the comments what you think. Can Spurs go and get a result? Or are Spurs more than likely going to get blown away? And what do you think a heavy defeat would mean for Ange? As I say, let us know what you think in the comments. As always, like and subscribe to Spurs Kings TV. Great content, and we'll see you again soon.